that I am done with my haircut. It's really, really easy to cut your hair by yourself. Oh, it can't get a good haircut by yourself. Look at me. Guys, what's up? Sam here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Apple's April event. No, we're not. I'm just playing with you. That was 3 days ago. You really think on this channel we're gonna keep talking about the event that happened? Get a grip here, Buster. If you're excited for today's episode, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more, and without further ado, did you hit the bell? Can you please hit the bell? Of course, here and on the new Genius Bar Podcast YouTube channel. Guys, the first episode is up. It's John Prosser and I recapping the Apple event. Of course, it's our weekly podcast. Just want to plug that really quick because it's really, really fun. And there's a weekly video thing with clips. It's great. So subscribe down below. Okay, I want to start off with this big MacBook Pro leak that happened where we saw the design and schematics for the new MacBook Pro, but I have to also tell you that I feel weird about this leak ethically. This latest leak is based around extortion. I guess I should dive into the details here just so it makes sense for you. So essentially this hacking group, who I'm not going to name because I don't think that they deserve publicity or recognition for committing a crime, this group hacked into Quanta Computer, which is one of Apple's partners, right? They help build products, they help make things, and because Quanta didn't have their stuff locked down, the hacking group was like, hey, give us 50 million bucks, just 50 million, or we're gonna continue to release Apple products and schematics every day. First of all, I don't think this is gonna end well for them because it's different to say, oh, I'm an employee working on a leak and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna share it for the good of the community versus stealing something and then blackmailing Apple for $50 million. That just doesn't seem like the best plan. So because of the circumstances, this is gonna be one of the only times that I'm not gonna show the image in the video. If you search this, there are ways to find it if you are so inclined to see the original source. That being said, I will show you a mock-up of the leaked image. So taking a look at what leaked, Parker Ortolani writes for 9to5Mac, has shown us what we can expect on the new MacBook Pro I/O-wise. I mean, technically there's nothing new in this image. Mark Gurman and Guomenshi actually shared this information prior, but we've never seen the exact layout and we certainly didn't know for sure if Apple was gonna do it. More ports returning on the new MacBook, is this the Apple that we know? So SD card slot, HDMI, USB-C, USB-C of course coming on the new MacBook Pro, but something that's not shown in this image and is likely on a different side of this MacBook is that MagSafe is also returning. And it's interesting because we kind of saw that on the new iMac. You can see right here, this looks like MagSafe on the back, but they didn't call it MagSafe. So what is actually going to be called MagSafe is what's coming on the new MacBook Pro. I am stoked for these new MacBook Pros. I think they will be the first devices with M1X inside, so I can't wait to see the power there. But I wanted to tell you the story just because, one, it's fascinating, two, there's a lot of ethical concerns, and three, it's happening. We're getting ports back on the next MacBook Pro, and that's a pretty big deal considering we've been going the last 5.5 years with just USB-C, which I think is gonna be one of the baddest aging takes that Apple's made in their history. But let's be honest with ourselves here. Does this guy really look like somebody who uses protection? I mean, just look at him flapping in the wind. He doesn't use protection. I use protection. That's why I use WeVPN. See, the guys over at WeVPN came from all the other VPN companies that were doing sketchy stuff to make a product that was fundamentally better. And this month, they're celebrating their anniversary, which means they've introduced the 2 years plan that includes 2 months for free, which means you're only paying $2.69 a month to access all the premium features, over 50 server locations, and access to BBC iPlayer, Hulu, Netflix, all your favorite streaming services to unblock the content you want. And just for iUpdate viewers, on top of the anniversary deal, you're getting an additional 10% off at checkout when you go to wevpn.com/iUpdate. So my challenge to you is this: whether you just heard about a VPN today or you've been using a different one for years, if you like me, if you trust what I do here, then go over to wevpn.com/iUpdate and get started today. But enough of the serious stuff, let's have some fun here, guys. Okay, what's the next story? Somebody give me the next story. Oh, it's for the iPhone 13. A quick tidbit here that we're hearing once again from a friend of the channel I'd love to talk to one day, Guomenshi, who is 75% accurate. This dude is just relentless for leaking things and quite accurate. Probably the longest running Apple source of all time. So on the iPhone 12, we got 5G. I was looking for the applause. Oh, that's right. 5G still isn't real because all the carriers in the US don't care about us. Notice I said US here. That's because the iPhone 12 with millimeter wave support, that's what gives you, let me show you this little window. I don't know if you guys have noticed this on the US phones. Like, see that little window right there? I don't know if it's focusing, but that's for millimeter wave, the super fast type of 5G. Currently, this is only found on the iPhone 12 in the US. If you buy an iPhone 12 anywhere else in the world, you're not getting the window, thus you don't have support for the fastest type of 5G millimeter wave. But according to Guo, that is changing, and next year Apple is expanding it to a ton of additional markets. This is great news for everybody who doesn't live in the US. Like, you're gonna get the super fast kind of 5G. I still don't get why Apple didn't include this on all phones, but on the iPhone 13 it's coming. So in your market, we didn't get specifics from Guo, but like, good news, you're gonna get better 5G, and that'll be a big feature for you guys that, you know, won't be new for us because we've had it. And of course, the software running on the iPhone 13 is gonna be iOS 15, the name already leaked from Apple a while back. And today, Mark Gurman is back with some really great information, like what I would consider the first super credible info drop for iOS 15 and iPadOS 15, and there's some big stuff happening. All right, up first, notifications are getting better. There's not a ton of information here, but you're gonna be able to like make new categories for what you're doing, like working, sleeping, running. It's kind of like do not disturb, but it'll be more specific so that notifications will react differently depending on what you have set. And this ties into apparently what is going to be a new version of the lock screen. Thank God, by the way. Like, the lock screen really hasn't changed at all since iOS 7, and I still miss slide to unlock. What can I say? Like, it was just more fun to do your little finger. You know, it's more ergonomic to just swipe up, but I really miss like the traditional swipe to unlock. Smash like if you guys also miss a swipe to unlock. There's not any additional detail about the design of the lock screen, but Gurman says these notification options will be present on the new lock screen, so like really front and center whenever you get your phone, and also in Control Center. So if you want to like tweak these, you know, say you're sleeping or you want to change your notifications, you'll do that in the new notifications. You'll be able to change stuff like if they make a sound or not. Obviously, when you're sleeping, maybe you want some notifications to always make a sound no matter what, even if you're on something like Do Not Disturb. Other notifications, you wouldn't want to be bothered with, like Sherry Wells updated her Facebook status. Oh, it's 4:30 a.m. and you were sleeping? Have fun going on Facebook right now. I'm Mark Zuckerberg. And tied into this are better automatic replies. When you have Do Not Disturb while driving on right now, you know how you get that weird text? Like, my dad has it turned on now, and it's just like the most dismissive thing ever. I'll be like, hey dad, having a really tough day. Hope you're doing well though. Miss you.
Hey, I'm driving right now. Could you f*** off?
The way we've heard about it right now is that it seems like this will tie into those categories. So if you are asleep, you could set up an automated reply that's like, hey bro, I'm sleeping. Please stop texting me. And speaking of iMessage, there's no concrete description of the new social features that are coming, but Mark Gurman describes a really interesting point that Apple internally sees iMessage as a social network. And while first I was like, no, that doesn't make sense, I then realized if I could pick one social network or social app and nothing else, it would be iMessage and the Messages app, because that is so vital to the work I do every day, to connecting with my friends and family, business-wise, to talk to other humans. It's just simply the best, and it has been the best forever. With Apple seeing it as a social network, they want to continue to build features that keep you coming back. But like right now, it's pretty simple. You know, you can kind of like set a profile picture and your name. And again, we don't know what other social stuff is coming, but Apple did some nice changes inside of group chats with iOS 14, and I hope we continue to see stuff in iOS 15, because I love iMessage. I'm an iMessage crackhead. Okay, give me iMessage. Also, there's gonna be some new privacy stuff in here. Obviously, this is a huge focus for Apple in general, and with these new privacy options, you'll be able to do things like find apps that are tracking you silently, apps that are doing some sneaky stuff to track you rather than upfront. You know, Apple's coming out with the app transparency tracking in 14.5, but this is gonna get even some of those deeper cuts, deeper apps that are being ultra sneaky. You'll be able to see that. I think that's incredibly important. Just allow me to consent to giving you my data. I might want to, but don't do it in the background and sneak around and act like you're all good. Again, looking at you, Mark Zuckerberg. These are all changes that should be available on iOS 15 and iPadOS 15, but I have saved a change for the end, the change that is by far the most exciting out of everything else, and it's for a redesigned iPad home screen. Apple has told us the iPad is a computer forever, and with the M1 chip inside now in the newest iPad Pro, I mean, things like Logic and Final Cut and Pro apps should be coming to the iPad probably at dub. Yet when you look at the home screen, it looks like an iOS device. It doesn't look like a Mac, it doesn't look like a proper computer. The row of apps is all right, but you can't customize things or drag it wherever you want. There's no true desktop-like functionality on here. And apparently Apple's making some steps in a better direction, but I'm not convinced. They're going to allow you to place widgets anywhere, which, like, why wasn't that on iOS 14? I don't know. But perhaps more exciting than that is the fact that you could take these widgets and replace the entire app grid with just widgets alone. So we could have more custom widgets that allow for like grouping apps and things. You'll basically have more customization over your home screen, but it still sounds like an app grid to me. You're just basically putting widgets in the same app grid. I hope that there's more coming with this iPad home screen redesign, especially again because there's an M1 chip in the iPad Pro now. Apple just seems so scared to make the iPad Pro a real computer, and I don't know why. Great headline from The Verge. Give us Mac on the iPad now, you cowards. I agree. I hope we see the new Mac OS update on the iPad. I don't think we will. I think it's still going to be iPad OS, and I hope that the upgrade is more significant than just more widgets on the home screen. Like, if Apple's answer to the iPad not feeling like a computer is you can put widgets anywhere, that's not a solution. That's like the biggest Band-Aid I've ever seen that just makes you hurt more. It's like if Apple just stabbed you in your heart with the vaccine, you're gonna die, slow, painfully, but you're gonna die. You might be like, oh, I'm vaccinated. That is in your heart. I'm sorry, Chester, but you're not coming back out of the hospital room. This is your final view. It's just the bright lights at the ceiling. That's all because Apple hasn't given us Mac on the iPad. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like down below. Of course, hit subscribe for more. I have been Sam. I hope all of you are doing well, and I'll catch you cool guys in the next video. Peace.